Hey everyone, welcome to my Lionel 2022 Volume 2 catalog review. I'm going to give you this really quick, super high level. I know there's a ton of these out there on YouTube, so I won't spend a ton of time here. I'll just tell you my thoughts, what are my definite pre-orders, and what are my maybes. So let's get into it. Alright, base 3, already have that one pre-order. Brass hybrid. So I'm glad to see that Lionel is continuing to try to offer things that are a little bit different. So using existing tooling that they have, at least for the chassis, and then kind of working with these brass hybrid boilers and tenders to offer different, more variation and just something new rather than just the same old Challenger that they've been had here for a little while. So glad to see that. It seems like everyone has the same opinion on these. They're very cool, but I'm not getting one. And that my opinion is kind of the same. The stereophonic rail sounds, in my opinion, with the 3 speakers is probably next to swinging bell. That is my favorite legacy feature. It is awesome. I only have one engine with it, but it's just a whole other experience with the sounds. It's incredible. So that alone is fantastic, but I'm not going to be getting one. If I was, I would get the Pilot. That version is really cool. I love all the brass there. So L1s, I actually got a heads up from a friend that these were going to be in the catalog, and I didn't really get much context on features or price, and I said, now, I don't see myself getting one of these. The reason being, I actually have a K-line Mikado that I was planning to upgrade to cruise control here and try to modify a little bit. So, but when I saw these in the catalog, it really made me consider it. And actually, at one point, I was considering getting 2 of these. Now, I don't think I'm going to get 2 of these, at least not right away. But I definitely will be pre-ordering one because I like some of the road number specific details that they've done. And so you've got up here, you see the antenna there, so that's awesome. And then you've got version with and without doghouse tender. So I wish that the one on the bottom here with the doghouse tender had Tuscan cab roof and Tuscan on the tender. Fortunately, it doesn't. I've kind of been hearing through some of the forums and things that maybe that is actually a catalog error and it should be Tuscan. I hope so, because that would be my preference. I like that a little bit better. So I will probably be pre-ordering that one regardless of the color. I won't be getting 2, but maybe when it delivers I'll pick a second one up, because Lionel priced these in a way where pre-order you can get this for $800. And you could double head these and have a really nice, two of these that will look great together for pretty reasonable price. So I have plenty of other engines I can double head these with. So if they're a home run, maybe I get a second, but for now, just sticking with one. Greenbriers, glad to see that Lionel's doing something with these. I did have a PS1 version at some point that I planned to upgrade to TMCC, but I didn't really get to doing that, and then ultimately sold it. The tooling was just the PS1 version visually looks very different than what MTH made with their latest PS2 release, or PS3, I'm sorry. So I'd like to get one day the PS3 version or one of these legacy versions, but it won't be a pre-order. It depends if I could pick up an MTH PS3 on the secondhand market, maybe I'd do that. But this just isn't at the top of the priority list. So maybe this is something I pick up a year or 2 down the road, but it's a pass for right now. This one is definitely my favorite, though. I love the smoke deflectors. If I was going to get one, that's what I would get. This seems to be a theme similar to the Pacemaker Mohawk. Whatever like the call it mid to high-end engine is, they'll do a road-specific crazy fantasy scheme. So this will be just like the Pacemaker. Some people will love it, some people will hate it. They'll ship and they'll be sold out in a week of delivery. So if you're on the fence about getting one, I would pre-order it. Moguls, I'll talk through these quickly. So I heard that they were going to do moguls. I tried to organize a custom run for Green Mountain 89, which is actually very similar to 89 that you see in the top right corner here with the high headlight. And so Green Mountain had number 89 and sold it to Strasbourg. They ran excursions up in Vermont for Steamtown. And I would love to have that version of it. Obviously, I'm on a lot of Vermont stuff, and they had their own excursion passenger set, and so I suggested to Lionel, maybe that would be a really good premium set for the future. But I did try to get a custom run of just the engine, and they wouldn't. Lionel said no. They wouldn't allow any custom runs of 89 because they want to run different versions in the future. So fair enough, that makes sense. The question for me is just how long in the future is that? Is that the next catalog, or is that 7 years? So I may pick up the 70s version here and re-letter it, let's say, to Green Mountain, but we'll see. Nothing on this page. I will say I do have the Strasbourg caboose up here in the top right corner. MTH did a custom run. I believe it was a custom run with Nick Smith, and I found it at York for $35. So I love it. If you're on the fence about getting one, I would do it. They're some of the best MTH tooling that Lionel has. Diesels, nothing here for me. FAs, if you're thinking about getting a Halloween engine, just order the Halloween FA. They always seem to be sold out by Halloween, so it seems like nobody's really thinking about Halloween in July. They deliver sometime roughly a year from now. Next Halloween comes and they're sold out everywhere and going for a premium on eBay. So if you think you might want one of these, I would just pre-order it. That would be my advice. Marine Corps stuff. I thought this was really cool that they've included this. Everybody's done a bunch of Army stuff, but it was cool to see some Marine Corps stuff in here. SD70 Aces. I do have the Rio Grande from the last release with the metallic paint scheme, which is awesome, but I won't be getting any of these. If I was going to get one, I would get the Caddy. That's always been my favorite paint scheme of these. Baby Train Masters. Yeah, these don't really do it for me. And $600 seems maybe a little high for these. Maybe they'll be closer to 500 pre-order, but yeah, if you're looking for an intro legacy engine, they're probably a good option. Or if you're like a Central Georgia guy or something, they would make sense, but not for me. Premium freight sets. So everybody's talking about these two. I think these are awesome. I won't be getting one. I thought about the Cumberland Valley, but I already have a couple Freight Sounds boxcars. I really don't need another, and I already have an N6B caboose. Actually, I have a couple of them. So the value just wasn't really there for me. But for someone that's trying to build their collection and wants an N6B or a Freight Sounds boxcar, it's a great value. Flat cars. So these would look really nice, all in one train together, but not something that I'll be ordering. And I usually blow right through these 60-foot boxcars because they're modern, and most of what I have is steam. But I will definitely be getting the John Deere. So I grew up on a farm, so this one really speaks to me. And then I also collect some of the MTH scale John Deere offerings that they had from 15 or 20 years ago. Lionel has since acquired that license, and they haven't really done anything with it other than make traditional or semi-scale stuff. But I'm glad to see this jump into the scale line. Maybe they'll make an ES44 or something, some type of diesel or scale steam engine like MTH did. The MTH, I think it's an ES44 John Deere, is impossible to find, and when you can find it, it goes for a fortune. Diecast hoppers, nothing there for me. Hobo boxcars, so I think I have one of these on pre-order. I can't remember, I have to check. I actually pre-ordered Mr. Muffin's New York Central, and then it got canceled because they didn't get enough orders. But again, I just don't get it. I don't get why Lionel didn't offer these in Pensy or, you know, a more traditional New York Central or Reading or Santa Fe or some major road names. It doesn't really make sense to me. You know, I could see having maybe 2 and 2, or, you know, even like, you know, maybe one major road name in here, but kind of, you know, I guess Frisco and Ann Arbor aren't short lines, but yeah, would have liked to see some bigger road names offered there. I think it would be more tempting for folks. Oops. All right, so this will be my budgeting tip for this video. If you are thinking about getting one of these, look on the second-hand market first. These are awesome. I have one, actually have a couple. They're terrific. MTH made them, and I picked up one from Trains maybe a month ago for like 35 bucks. So before you spend $120 on one of these, or maybe $100 pre-order, just check out the secondhand market. Be patient. MTH made a boatload of them, so they're out there. They'll come up. You might have to pay a little bit more for them now that Lionel has cataloged these at a higher price, but you know, maybe you could get one for 50 bucks. The only exception to that, I would say, is this yellow one, and that is MTH did make this, but they go for close to 100 bucks anyway, when you can even find them, and they almost never come up. So if you're thinking about getting the yellow one, I would just get the Lionel. That would be the exception to the other two. These other ones are the traditional paint job is out there everywhere. So, and I may actually get a yellow one. I'm kind of on the fence about it. Otherwise, I think that's it. I won't really go into the traditional O-scale stuff. There's nothing really there, you know, that interests me. But thank you guys for watching, and let me know in the comments what you're pre-ordering,